welcome back to the IMNerd podcast, guys. We are here for episode 31, and we will be talking about a myriad of random shit today. We don't have a specific topic, even though if you're looking at this on Patreon, you will see behind us a huge anime wallpaper of Hatsune Miku. I believe that's how you say her name, but I am not all too familiar with her outside of one of my friends I used to live with way back in the day was a huge fanboy. And when I typed in anime wallpaper, she just kind of came up and I was like, oh, this fucking looks cool. So
it's interesting. She's kind of become, I don't know if it's as popular anymore, but she's become like a poster child for anime, and she's not an anime character, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, from what I understand, she's like a virtual idol, essentially.
Yeah, she's from a game called Vocaloid, or I think it's also a client, but I don't know. But it's not an anime.
Right. And she just looks very anime, though.
Yeah.
And that's why people, I guess, use her for, or she pops up in anime wallpaper searches, because she came right up. She was one of the top ones.
She did.
The top ones that I saw were Demon Slayer. There was a Bleach one, which I was surprised about. It was like one of the top 5, I feel like. And then obviously some Naruto in there and other random shit. But yeah.
I actually do like a lot of Vocaloid music. But yeah, that's besides the point.
Vocaloid. I don't know anything about. I am a noob when it comes to that stuff, so I'm not going to pretend.
I don't know what you had planned on talking about, but there's something I'm dying to get off my chest. And you mentioned Naruto.
All right, well, let's get right to it then. I'm happy.
Have you heard the recent Naruto news?
No.
Naruto Uzumaki is confirmed on the official Fortnite Twitter to be coming to Fortnite.
Ah, yes.
On the 16th of this month.
Is it just Naruto?
I don't know. So there's just like a picture here, and I'll send you the picture.
Okay.
But it says Fortnite X Naruto Shippuden, and then it says Believe It under it, and then 11/16/21. It says Naruto Shippuden, Believe It. And this is on the official Fortnite Twitter. And then I've read that allegedly, I don't know how true this is, but it says Naruto X Fortnite will be added on the 16th along with a Hidden Leaf Village creative hub. The cosmetics and hub are planned to release on that day at 2 p.m. UTC, 9 a.m. ET. If time changes, don't get mad at me. But yeah, apparently
that last part, if time changes, don't get mad at me.
Yeah, but that part's not from the official Fortnite Twitter. That's from I think somebody who got the information.
Was this just announced today or something? Like this is brand new?
As far as I know, it was announced today. I don't know for sure, but as far as I know, it was announced today.
I didn't know anything about this. I didn't hear any leaks about this. I didn't see anybody. And I follow some anime Instagram pages that they give kind of like, news like this would show up definitely on my Instagram is what I'm saying. I didn't see a single thing about it yet. So maybe it is new for today. And I'll see it when I look at my phone later on or tomorrow or something. But I never played Fortnite in my life. I've watched it a couple times.
I am not a Fortnite fan. I've got like brothers and stuff that love the game.
Yeah, of course. They're in that age bracket.
But the game's not for me. But the fact that they're adding Naruto, I think, is kind of wild.
Yeah, well, do you know that they add everyone, though?
Yeah, but I think, I could be wrong. I think he's the first anime character being added.
He might be, but they add...
But I know they have Thanos.
They have Thanos, they have Darth Vader, they have Storm, they have Ariana Grande, they have Travis Scott. So, like, and they have a lot more. Like, Master Chief is probably in there somewhere. There's a bunch of characters.
Yeah, they have Ryu, Chun-Li, Cammy.
Yep. They have a lot of characters. So, they have Batman. The Joker might be in there somewhere. I know Fortnite, their big thing is to do these collabs. And they basically, I'm assuming they, like, absorb some portion of the fan base, like, from this. I just have to assume.
Yeah, but I just wish I liked the game. With how much shit is in it, man, I wish I liked it.
Yeah, it would be cool. Because imagine if, like, in Monster Hunter, a game that me and you both like a lot, had a Naruto collab.
Mm-hmm.
That would be sick, especially with the current theme of Monster Hunter Rise. Like,
dog, if you could hunt a QB.
Oh my god!
And you can cut off 9 tails. Like you can cut off all 9 of the tails.
Wait, you might be onto something. Is there not a QB in Monster Hunter?
I don't know if there is. As you know, I'm a new Monster Hunter fan. But if there is a QB, I can guarantee you can't cut off all 9 of the tails. And
I don't think they're not. Yeah, I mean, well, maybe you don't know because Kieran wasn't in base Rise. He will be, I'm sure, in Sunbreak.
I've heard of Kieran in terms of I know Kieran the mythological creature. I've also heard of Kieran in Monster Hunter, but I've never seen him.
Kieran is pretty much in every single Monster Hunter game. I don't know of a Monster Hunter game that Kieran is not in. As far as when I say Monster Hunter game, I mean the whole thing. So if I say World, I'm also including Iceborne. If I say Rise, I'm going to include Sunbreak because eventually I do think Kieran will be in Sunbreak. But Kieran is like a horse or whatever, mythological unicorn looking creature. And I'm just surprised that there's no 9 tails in Monster Hunter, but maybe there will be at some point. And that idea that you just said sounds really fucking cool, like cutting off all of its tails. What would be really fucking cool though, so in Monster Hunter World / Iceborne, they had these siege quests where in that game, gathering hubs could go up to 16 players, right? So literally 60 people could be in a gathering hub. We can all see each other move around, go into the armory, do all that stuff. Really cool shit. And obviously the graphics on Monster Hunter World are insane. So also really cool shit with that because it's like a fashion show. That's pretty much half of Monster Hunter. But siege quests are quests where parties of 4 at a time go in. And like you could do them simultaneously, but parties of 4 at a time go in, and you're all basically working on the same one big ass monster's HP. And everything that you guys break, it counts as every other group that's in this gathering hall. You also broke that part. So if I broke off the tail, like in my group, then you guys, when you get back from your mission, the tail will also be considered broken. And there's a long list of all of these things that need to be done to get the max rewards. So everybody who goes on a quest is trying to do specific objectives. Like I want to damage the left arm, damage the right arm, break the tail, break the head, break the face, break the chest, all this stuff, right? It would be really fucking cool if they don't do it in Sunbreak, if the next Monster Hunter World, which I believe is already in development, if they do a siege quest that's a giant fucking QB, and the way it works is as you destroy the tails, it like gets more and more outrageous. Like you're kind of unlocking its power, but you do have to break the 9 tails to basically beat it. I'm just literally spitballing ideas, but I think it would be fucking cool as shit. You fight it at night with like the full moon out in the background.
That would be so sick.
Huh? Yeah,
too sick. Speaking of, we talked a little bit about Monster Hunter earlier, like we in PMs, and I was just like, fuck. I actually booted up for the first time in a while. I booted Monster Hunter up today.
Yeah.
I was like, I just wanted to like do a hunt, and I was like, And I just fought Magnum Malo because he's like the box monster.
Yeah.
So I went and fought Magnum. I fucking am terrible. Like I'm so bad. The hunt took so long.
And like, you fought a high rank one too, right?
Yeah. I fought a high rank Magnum Malo, and it took so long. I fucked up. I fainted once.
Yep.
I couldn't even. I like barely remembered the controls, but it was fun. I was like, man, I can't wait to actually step back into this.
Yeah, your weapon, the Greatsword, is one of those weapons that definitely has your controls matter a lot. Not to say that no one else's controls matter a lot, but you actually blatantly tank monsters.
Yeah.
And there's not many of the other weapons in that game run into attacks on purpose. So like, so if your buttons are all fucked up in your head, it could literally be death. You know how it is. Valstrax is super hard. Like I don't think right now if I picked up my Switch that I could beat Valstrax on my first try after not playing this. I haven't played in months too. Yeah. I don't think I would beat a Valstrax picking it up right now. Like I don't think that would happen.
I went halfway through the fight before remembering about Power Sheath. I was like fighting, and then I was like, oh wait a minute.
Yep.
I was like, I know I'm doing something wrong.
Yep.
And then
and you probably got quick sheath and all that too. Yeah. No, Monster Hunter is great. I mean, I'm sure at some point Fortnite will have a Monster Hunter collab too.
Oh, for sure. Sure. And
but as far as
shoot down Rathalos.
Yes. Yeah, that would be really cool because you know how in Fortnite, like I said, I've never played it, but I have watched a good amount of it, like not too much, but I've seen enough of it to know kind of how it works. And one of my exes used to fucking play it all the time, which was just whatever. I just used to kind of just watch. But you come in on like for when he played Batman, for example, you would come in on a flying,
like a glider thing.
Yeah, an actual glider, which I thought was really cool. So there's that too. Like maybe if you are Monster Hunter, the character, you come in on a Rathalos, like you said, something like that. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. I can see that. I could actually see that happening. So Naruto probably. What would Naruto come in on? Does he have something that flies besides himself? I guess
besides himself.
Yeah, because like he technically I guess he can just fly. Naruto can just fly. At least when he had the Sage of the Sixth Path power, him and Sasuke, I feel like they were just fucking flying. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be gliding. I'm trying to think what could the glider be?
Yeah,
Also
like what
wonder
would be cool?
what the pickaxe would be. I know like the pickaxes are all important, and
Oh
then
yeah, maybe just the Rasengan or something. I don't know, but it says
a
so.
stick with a Rasengan at
What
the end.
what I'm excited about with this is that it says Fortnite X Naruto Shippuden, but it doesn't just say that like the only character they're gonna bring into it is Naruto.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and when you were first talking about it before you sent me the picture, I thought that it was literally just the character Naruto. I'm more excited now because it also could mean that Sasuke's in Fortnite,
Yeah. It'd
and
be
that will
interesting to
be
see what they look like and everything.
yeah, because maybe they'll come in fucking Susano and the QB Cloak. Like maybe Naruto will
That's
literally fly in with the full mech QB thing that he fought Sasuke with at the very
that's
end of the show.
it's fucking OD.
It would probably be a bit much as far as the other skins where like their thing is super small and then these two fuckers come in and their thing is just gigantic
Fucking
and
flying with perfect Susano. It could be
yeah,
cool. Like they added when they did Street Fighter, they added Ryu and Chun Li at the same time, and then sometime after they added Cammy and Guile. By the way, Guile looks awful. Like I remember I was looking at the Guile model, and I laughed so hard. Ryu looks pretty terrible too. They did Chun Li and Cammy well, but like I don't know. I guess it's not hard. I think people put more effort into making sexy girls.
yes.
Ryu and Guile look terrible. Well, Guile specifically looks really bad. So I hope they look cool. Like I hope Naruto and whoever else looks cool. Like if they had Naruto and Sasuke.
Yeah, hopefully they don't look dopey as fuck. That would be so bad.
Yeah.
I
But
don't need that.
how crazy is it though that there is a game? Unfortunately, it's like a game that I'm not super interested in, but there is a game where you could have Naruto, Deadpool, Spider-Man, Batman, Ryu, like it's kind of
Kylo
nutty.
Ren,
Kylo Ren, like
Ariana Grande. I'm keep saying that because I still think that one is so ridiculous to me.
I do think that's absolutely insane.
Like losing the Ariana Grande has to feel so disrespectful.
It can't. Oh, you know what's? It's going to be so weird, but there's going to be like videos of Sasuke doing those weird Fortnite dances.
Yep. And Sasuke, so I can see Naruto doing them because he's more silly, but Sasuke is such a serious person. Even in
Yeah.
Boruto, he stays very, very serious. He pretty much never jokes around. I can't really think of too many times when Sasuke's on some jokey shit. He's very serious. I mean, his whole family died and all that stuff.
Dude,
So
seeing Sasuke doing a Fortnite dance is going to be jokes, man.
yep,
Like,
it really will be. But he's going to do all of those dances. They love it. Speaking of Fortnite, you brought it up. So maybe you don't, but the whole Travis Scott thing with his concert recently.
So I heard about it. I don't know exactly what happened. As far as I know, he incited a riot and people died, and then he was doing the robot. Oh, and that's like.
So I love how information just we live in a very scary time because what you just said, like obviously you didn't go and look up every little detail about it.
No, what I passively saw over time is what I gathered.
Yeah, so I also didn't deep dive into all of it either, but I do know that 8 people died at the Astroworld Festival. RIP to them, really tragic event. And then, like he's been apologizing, he's going to pay for the funerals and refund all the tickets. And I think they said they're going to give all the proceeds from the festival to the families affected by this. And it's just this whole thing going on with it. But more to the point, because I don't want to get too deep into that. And like, I know people are like figuring out who to blame for this. Like some people are blaming Travis Scott himself for it. Some people are blaming the venue and, having adequate security and that whole thing. And that's like a big debate right now is who is actually responsible for it. Like, did Travis blatantly do something to incite a riot? And that's a different topic for a different show that is not IMNerd. But they removed his skin from Fortnite.
Oh, that's so corny. All right, go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
But so here's the reason why I believe is because people were, after this tragedy, you know how the internet is. The internet is a fucking ignorant place. And I always talk about this. It is the best and worst place in the world at the same time. It's also the truest form of humanity. It is everyone without a mask. It is the real version of everyone because you're allowed to just be yourself and you can be anonymous completely, right? So when someone's playing Fortnite and they're playing as Scorpion King 97, you don't know who Scorpion King 97 is. It could be anyone. It could be a 60-year-old man. Like it could be literally anyone. Anyway, everyone was playing the Travis Scott skin after this happened, right? And they were like doing all of these ignorant dances and stuff like that and just kind of using his character to kill people in the game. And it was this whole thing like, oh God, the internet is just they're not going to chill. They're gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna overuse this character, and they're gonna do a bunch of dances and a bunch of like stuff.
So
It's
they
annoying.
removed the skin. I don't know if you would even know this. Did they fucking refund everybody for the money that they put into getting the skin?
I would actually
Because
hope
like
so,
the
but
skins
I didn't
cost
see
money and the upgrades and all that other shit. Like
I
that
didn't
shit's
see
money.
I didn't see anything about refunding anybody, but I also
Like
didn't deep dive into the whole thing.
I
So
just
maybe
I hate shit like that because I know it might have been a couple years now. I think it was Travis Scott. I could be wrong. I don't follow his music, but I think it was Travis Scott. He did like a concert in Fortnite. I think it was like a year or two ago. But he had a concert, and the concert was literally in Fortnite. It was like a special event, and the people that were playing Fortnite at the time could go to the concert, and it was like this big like fucking VR experience or whatever. I don't know.
yeah,
It was
I actually
pretty
know
cool.
exactly what you're talking about. I
And
remember
I
when
know
it was happening.
Jaden and his friends were super hyped about it. Like they were looking at it.
Yep.
So all of that's cool. And like I don't know if Jaden has the Travis Scott skin. I assume he does. But I think it'd be corny if like I don't know, his mom, like he did well on a test. His mom bought him fucking V-Bucks and he spent those V-Bucks on this Travis Scott skin. I think it'd be really corny if they took the skin out of the game and then didn't refund you, number
Right.
one.
Yeah, they at
Number
least need to
two,
give you a credit or something to use on
yeah.
another skin, maybe.
Number two, I just don't like that in general. So that actually transitions to another thing. I know you don't really know anything about Overwatch,
I
but
don't.
you know the
Except,
character.
yeah, I don't
Okay.
actually. Never mind.
Do you know the character McCree? He's like a cow. He looks like a cowboy, and he
I've
says
heard.
"High noon."
Yes, I do actually know who you're talking about. I've seen him before. Go ahead.
So
Where's this going? Because I'm scared.
he's so I think his name's John McCree, and he's like a cowboy or whatever.
Oh,
He's
is
in
this the guy
Overwatch.
that he used to work at the company?
There's a guy that used to work at the company, and he got fired or whatever. But McCree was named after this person, and this guy got fired. I think they found a text from like 10 years ago or something. And I don't know. I don't know what the text was. I couldn't even pretend to tell you. I don't know if it was sexist or racist or I couldn't even pretend to tell you it was in the text.
Okay.
But they found a text from like 10 years ago, I think, or maybe it was shorter. I don't know. But the point is they fired this guy and they named McCree after this guy. And because of that, they changed they retconned McCree's name in the character McCree in Overwatch. They retconned his name.
Yeah, he's not called that anymore.
His name's like fucking Cassius Clancy or something. Like something random. And I just think that is the dumbest fucking thing ever. Because nobody even knew McCree was named after this guy until this news. Like nobody knew that McCree was named after this random fucking employee until you guys said, hey, we're changing McCree's name because of this random employee. Like
I was scared at first. I was scared what you were saying because in my head, all I was thinking as you were speaking was, okay, but what if it was R. Kelly who was an employee somewhere, and they had this character who blatantly was inspired by R. Kelly, and then all the shit that has gone down with R. Kelly in real life comes out, right?
I don't give a shit.
And then at that point, what do? Do you keep his name as R. Kelly?
He's his own entity now.
No,
he's
you're fucking smoking dick.
No, look,
you are smoking dick,
dude. If fucking if tomorrow you find out that the guy that Mario is named after fucking sexually he was Bill Cosby's partner.
Well, Mario is just a generic name. That guy had the first and last name of this employee. I'm not trying to hear it.
And somebody look, all right, somebody's name out there is Mario.
Tripping.
No,
you are tripping.
Fuck
if
You're
R. Kelly was
crazy.
in a video game like Overwatch, and then all the allegations came out, and then they were proven to be true, you 100% rename that character.
But he's not R. Kelly. His name's like Robert Kellenstein, and I don't know, man. He's not. The point is that character's not R. He has his own. He's like okay. The guy that worked at Overwatch wasn't a fucking badass cowboy with a robot arm that fucks.
You don't even know what he said in that email.
I know that he wasn't a badass cowboy. I know that much. I do know that. I will bet my left nut that he ain't a badass cowboy that says high noon and fucking
you might lose your left nut. Up. Now I'm going to look up his past life because for all we know, he might be a fucking badass cowboy.
Nope.
There might be pictures of him from when he was younger or growing up or something where he has on a cowboy hat and a little.
I think I want to say, I'm not 100% sure. I want to say the text messages were either Michael Jackson jokes or Bill Cosby jokes. It was one of the two, I think. But I just think that's such a dumb
Well,
thing
yeah.
to get fired.
So if what you said is true, and they're Michael Jackson jokes or Bill Cosby jokes, whatever, uh, I don't think that's grounds to fire someone from the whole company and all that.
Like, it's not an R. Kelly. It's not a situation where, like, the person that got fired isn't a serial rapist. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
he's a person that said he's somebody that's getting canceled.
Yeah,
I just think it's crazy
I
to remove something from the lore because someone got canceled.
I hate cancel culture, and I wanted to say this when you brought up the you transitioned from the Travis Scott thing because they removed his skin from Fortnite, and then you moved into the Overwatch thing, and I wanted to say I don't like how fast Fortnite removed the Travis Scott skin without actually, because there's an investigation by the FBI going on right now, but they have obviously they have not concluded anything yet. They don't know anything as far as
he hasn't. Like, he's not a criminal yet.
He's not a criminal.
He's not found guilty. He's not even charged.
He's not found guilty of anything. He's not charged with anything. He's not a criminal. So for me, I don't like how fast cancel culture can just get you the fuck out of there and just start pulling all this shit. He got pulled from another festival, and I'm hoping that he himself did it, because I saw that Travis Scott will no longer be headlining this concert, and the next week or so he's going to be replaced with fucking Post Malone. And I was like, okay, like, I'm really hoping that Travis made that decision because he doesn't feel comfortable performing this soon after that tragedy, because I personally would not. But if they blatantly just pulled his card from the concert, I just find it to be super fucking whack, because, again, he did not personally get charged with anything yet. And there's an investigation going on. Like, let the investigation at least run its course before you decide to.
That's always my problem. My problem with all, like, every time somebody gets canceled or whatever, my problem is always that we ruin people's lives before we even know they're guilty.
Yes.
Like, and sometimes it's not even a crime. Like Kevin Hart, for example. Kevin Hart got canceled from doing the Oscars, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was the Oscars.
Because of a tweet that he made 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, guys.
So it's funny you say this. I just was having a conversation with Amanda LaPalma on Facebook. I believe it was this morning, like literally today. And we were talking about cancel culture and how it's scary that the world we live in now, with the whole canceling stuff and how fast it moves, how ridiculous that is, that no one accepts that people can change. So Kevin Hart 10 years ago, he said some really homophobic things, said some really violent things towards pretty much gay people, because he said something about if his son was gay, he would beat it out of him or something along those lines. Just very, very problematic statements for sure. No question about that. Like, very problematic. But again, it was 10 years ago. He apologized for it once already. Like, he blatantly apologized for it. Said, like, I'm a different person now. People will change. And I think that now with cancel culture, how crazy it's gotten is we don't accept the fact that people can actually change. I think that's the biggest problem is I'm not who I was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, first of all, you know me, Kenny. I have said
I've known you. How long have we known? 12 years, maybe? We've known
it'll be 12 years in January.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a very long time. And especially, I've said a lot of things that would get me canceled now. Like,
yes.
Just things that I said, but I was also a fucking teenager. You know what I mean? Like, I was also a person who wasn't a fully developed adult and just didn't fully understand all things that I might have said or things that I thought were funny or whatever made me say the things that I said 10 years ago. And I just wasn't who I am right now.
Yeah, like I know for sure.
Well, yeah,
I said the most outlandish.
You still scare me now.
Wait, what?
For the people who don't know, last week our intro. So if you listen to the last podcast episode, what was it? WandaVision. What was the last episode before this one? Is it WandaVision?
I think it was WandaVision.
Okay, whatever the episode is right before this one. Just play the first couple seconds of it. The intro to it is us singing the theme song to, what is it?
The Wayans Brothers. The Wayans Brothers show, I think.
Yeah, so Kenny was like, oh, like, I want to sing it because, WandaVision's about like sitcoms and all that stuff. So he started singing. This is before the call, mind you. So he started singing it before the call actually started, where we record the podcast. And I was like, now hold on. Don't say that colored part, because they're like, we're brothers, we're happy, and we're singing, and we're colored. So I was like, don't say that part. Like, when we get into the episode, I am singing that part. Like, your fucking white ass is not singing that colored part. Like, that's not a thing. And he was like, oh, man. I was like, ain't no oh, man. Like, I'm singing it. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what are we doing?
That song is part of family television,
It
all
is.
right?
It is. It was. But still, I was thinking to myself, like, one, I'm not trying to hear that shit with the whole again, cancel culture and stuff like that, and then people
Yeah, yeah,
taking it
yeah.
super out of context, and then people looking at me like, "Oh, you let this guy get on here and start talking about color." The internet can just they
But
can turn some.
what's crazy is
Oh
that
man,
it's just crazy to me that something that's so obviously a joke and so
yes,
obviously
but
fun
every
that people
yeah
will take that and try to absolutely like. There will be like, you and your fucking kids shouldn't be able to eat.
yeah,
Like,
and
it's like,
you'll be deemed the full on racist.
yeah, it's like, what the hell?
It would just get out of hand, and I was like, I'm not here for that. We're still in our infancy, so I just vetoed the fuck out of it. I was like, I will sing that part. I have no problem with it. I think it's a very funny thing, period, because I love the show as well, especially growing up, like Fresh Prince, Martin, Jamie Foxx show,
Yeah,
pretty much every single one of the sitcoms. Like Living Single, like I was a big
dude,
fan of those, even
my
though I
wife
probably was
and
too young to
kids.
watch them.
Sometimes one of my friends tried to like make me feel bad for liking my wife and kids. My wife and kids is fucking hilarious.
What do you mean trying to make you feel bad?
Like, he was just saying, like, I don't remember what he was. He
Oh,
was just
because you
talking
liked a
shit.
black sitcom or something? I don't.
No, no,
I just
no. Just because because the guy that was saying this was a black guy.
okay.
As you know, I don't have any white friends.
You really don't. You had like one, and I don't even think y'all are like really that close anymore. So you just don't get along with white people.
There
It's
was
so
one
funny.
time. So for context, there was one time. My little brother Jaden. I was asking him because I used to hang like me and Fraser don't hang out in person as much
Yeah.
anymore. But I don't really think anybody does.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I don't really leave the house too often, if I'm being honest.
So my younger brother used to see Fraser a lot, but he hasn't seen him in a long time. So anyway,
Yes.
one day I was hanging out, and then I asked Jaden if he remembers Fraser. So Jaden's sitting there, and he's like trying to remember him, and he's thinking, and he goes, is he black? And then I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I remember him. And then Fraser was like, well, that's not a hard guess. Like,
Right.
all of your friends are black.
Especially with I was like, all of your friends are black, so that could be literally any one of us. And
Yeah.
here's the thing: Jaden is white and black, pretty much, right? Like he's
mixed. He's mixed.
yeah. Your little brother's mixed. He's actually so it's kind of funny because he's looking up in the sky, thinking to himself like, well, if I know Kenny, let me call out the easiest thing and say, oh yeah, he's black.
Yeah, I remember him.
I do remember that though, and I was like, I don't think that your little brother remembered me because I feel like if I walked up to him right now, I would be one of those people who that thing that happened to us when we were kids, where people walk up to you and they're like, "Oh, I used to remember you when you were so little," and you staring at this fucking huge adult, and you don't know them.
Okay.
You don't know them at all, and it's definitely very okay. I just want to go back to playing my video game now. You know how your parents pull you out your room for that shit? I hated that.
Don't you remember Derek? This is Derek. Derek used to hold you when you were little. You don't remember Derek?
No fucking Derek. Who the fuck is Derek?
And then you're like, oh, yeah, I remember Derek.
Right. No one fucking remembers Derek.
You were the guy
creepy ass Derek
at the place.
Yep. Creepy ass Derek. Nobody remembers him. Yeah, I hated that. I always hated that. Every time I go get pulled out my room to meet some old person, and I'm looking up at this person who's all happy to see me and talking about me when I was a baby, and like, do you remember me? Why the fuck would I remember you?
Well, I don't remember shit. But anyway, that said, he was just making fun of the show My Wife and Kids and saying it's like a cheesy ass, like, I don't know, dad show or something.
I like that show though. I mean, it came very
late. My Wife
late.
and Kids is fucking great.
I don't have it on the same pedestal as so for me, the greats like Martin, Fresh Prince. Like those are the. I also love Living Single a lot, but those are like the greats. And then My Wife and Kids, I want to say, definitely came later.
It's like it's not a 90. As far as I know, I don't remember. I think it's
it
like a 2000s. It's a good,
right.
Yeah, it's a 2000 sitcom.
Yeah, in my head, it's definitely 2000. So yeah, it came definitely way after the goats. But it's good. When I've watched it, I've laughed a lot. And I also like seeing, I call her Gina, no matter what role she's in, but I like seeing Gina cast in a different role. And I mean, not really different, but different, you know. But yeah. I like the show. I never thought that the show, I mean, it was funny. I think it was genuinely funny. So
I have a bias, man. I love every member of the Wayans family, man. I'm a big fan.
They're all talented. All of them. They're really all talented. Every single one.
They're really good.
All right. Well, so we went off on I guess not even a rant or a tangent because it's just real shit at this point. Like we were just talking about cancel culture and how
just a conversation.
Just a conversation about it. It's kind of ridiculous, and I really do hate that we don't allow people to change because that's just not how humans are. We definitely do change. So to sum up that whole thing, cancel culture fucking sucks. And even though there are some humans in this world who have shown themselves to be irredeemable, let's wait until they show that behavior. You know what I mean? Like R. Kelly is not a redeemable human to me because he hasn't stopped the behavior. He also doesn't think that he did anything wrong.
And that'll get dealt with when, like, for example, like, okay, because I will say this. There's examples. I think cancel culture, it comes from a good place, or at least it started in a good. I think there's some people that just abuse it. They like the power and they want to just cancel people. But it comes from a good place because we needed cancel culture in the fucking 90s. Because R. Kelly was like, this isn't the first, like, this is old. Like, we all knew this about R. Kelly casually for 2 decades now. And he was still making music. Like, he still has hit songs with fucking Usher and all these other people.
Yeah.
After there was video evidence of him pissing on a 15-year-old. So it's like, we definitely needed.
In some degree.
We needed some level of cancel culture to
and I'll say,
get some people the fuck out of here.
And I'll say this: I think if you do anything to children or with children, you're canceled and should never. I just personally do not think that you're a redeemable human being if you do anything to children. I just cannot. Maybe that's just me not being a forgiving person or whatever you want to call me. But once you delve into that realm of like underage human beings, kids, children, you do anything with them at all, that's just wrong. You should be fucking. You don't even want to know what I think about people like that. I just really don't. But canceling you is the least of your worries. If you ask me, like, you should not be allowed to really have anything, a career, anything. Like, if you do that shit is just so vile and ridiculous. There's no coming back from that. But like,
I'm fighting for my fucking life.
Ridiculous.
Y'all don't want to believe it. That interview is one of my favorite.
And that's why he should stay canceled.
I'm fighting for my fucking life.
Oh god.
Y'all don't want to believe it.
There's this one liner. He's like, hog tie. I don't know how to hog tie. He's just like crying and shit.
Did you ever see the video of R. Kelly? Like, I think he's in Africa and he's singing about bringing women home to America. He's like, dude, it's so
No,
funny.
I haven't.
He literally is singing. He's like, do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Do you want to come home with Rob to America?
I'm so over this guy.
How demeaning is it to ask somebody if they got their shots?
Well, first of all,
like how fucking demeaning is
that
to sing to someone, did you get your shot?
Stop kidding.
Like, that is outlandish.
Have you ever seen 90 Day Fiance?
No.
Well, I'll have you know, if you want to watch some demeaning television, go on Hulu and watch 90 Day fucking Fiance. It is literally a show about Americans who pretend that they have money usually, and people who really want to come over to America, the land of the free and the land of dreams.
Holy shit.
They live in usually some third world country or somewhere that's like, not as, I guess, liberal and has as many opportunities as America. So they really want to get over here badly. And they pretend that they love usually these disgusting people, like these people who are just, they don't take care of themselves at all. They're super just gross, living in squalor. Like this one guy, for example, he has an apartment and there's just roaches and Chinese food and shit everywhere. God. And this girl who, she's an Asian girl. I'm not sure which country she comes from exactly, but she really wants to be an American, clearly, because she works for this fucking visa. Anyway, the premise of the show is that they come to America on a like a temporary visa, and it lasts for 90 days. And if they don't get married in 90 days, then they have to go fucking to back to the country they came from. You have to go back.
How is this show legal? Isn't there don't we have like a whole government system to
these kind of marriages?
Stop this?
Right, these kind of marriages that are basically for a green card, yes. But the thing is, these people, or at least the American usually, thinks that they're really in love. Now, the foreigner, I gotta say, I don't think the foreigner is ever really in love with the person. I don't know. Some of them work out. Don't get me wrong. There are some of them that, like, you could tell, okay, in this one particular couple, he really loves her and he's not just trying to get a green card. Also, the American girl that he's dating, she's actually really pretty, so I could see it. But then some of them are so blatant. There's this one couple, Muhammad, and I forget the girl's name. Muhammad. He treats her so bad because when he got to America, she's all fat and nasty, and she tries to sleep with him. He's, he's not here for it all. He's like, wait until the cameras go away and like we turn the lights up and stuff. So she's trying to jump his bones and kiss him, and he doesn't even want to kiss her. It's so funny. And she's in the confessionals like, Muhammad really loves me, and I can't wait till tonight when we get to make love. And then in the confessional, when they ask him, like, are you ready to make love to your fiance tonight? And he's like, I don't really want to talk about that. And you could visibly tell this man he does not want to do anything with this fucking girl.
My man just needs that card.
He is visibly disgusted and wants to get out of the situation by any means. Another good one is Nicole and Azan. They're probably the absolute best ones. But Azan, again, a fucking guy who comes from some country and he like really wants a green card. And Nicole is huge. She has a daughter and she's just terrible. Like she's also just terrible. Like she's terrible in every kind of way. She attacks him and hits him and shit. She goes over to his country. It's a whole thing. She's making fun of his culture and all this type of stuff. Their food. She's just despicable. She's really a typical American if we're being honest. Like she goes to a foreign country and it's like, ooh, like what is this? Like just being disrespectful to his whole culture and shit. But it's so funny because you can tell that usually the foreigners are just trying to get a visa. Like they're trying to get a green card. And they're willing to do whatever. So 90 Day Fiance, if you want to ever be entertained by some terrible reality TV, because it is sad what humans will do to get to America. It's fucking sad.
That shit is crazy.
And it's a real commentary on how bad some of the rest of the world can be as far as people wanting to get out of their country that bad.
As long as they have their shots, they can come with Rob, all right?
Yeah.
Robert Kelly will bring them.
One of the best things to me about the show, this is the last thing I'll get off of 90 Day Fiance. One of the best parts about 90 Day Fiance to me is that almost every single time the foreign woman or man who's trying to get the green card and come over here, when they do get here, they often realize that it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
That is the part that I love, especially when they find out that the person that they've been pretending to be in love with is not rich. They really think that Americans in general are just well off.
How is this show okay? This show is awful.
I want you to I'm gonna try to find a season with Nicole. Well, I will find the season with Nicole and Azan because you don't need to watch like season 1, 2, and all that stuff. I just want you to go straight to the meat, like where the funny shit. Like I want you to watch the one season that has Nicole and Azan, and it has a lot of other good because they do like 6 or 7 couples a season. And the episodes have all of the couples usually in them. So it like flips back and forth between them and how they're in America now and all that stuff. It's really good. It's my one coworker put me onto it. I didn't think I would like it, but I think during the pandemic.
So fucked up. Just we're here with Richard, and Richard lives alone in a 1-room apartment. Okay. Richard's bathroom and sink and stove are in the same quarters. Richard has been telling Fiona that he has invested stock in Tesla. And he is a
oh my god! It's so because what you're saying actually is what happened, and there is a girl named Fiona. So you're not even making shit up now. What you were saying about like someone living in an efficiency, so like a 1-room situation. Not to make fun of them, but like it's just they pretend that they were living
to be millionaires.
Yes, they pretend to have a lot of money, cars, all this shit, and then Fiona, who's from fucking I don't know some third world country.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Bangladesh is a bad country or not.
But wherever she's from this country where she's really trying to get over here, and she believes that also her fiance is fucking savagely rich. And when she gets here, I'll never forget the one girl. I think she came from Thailand, but I'm not 100% sure. The one Asian girl came from her country, and when she got to America, this is the guy that had the roach apartment. She started seeing the roaches in the kitchen, and she goes, "Bidu, bidu, bidu," and she's pointing at them. And I guess that word means like, vermin or like roach or whatever. But she keeps saying like bidu. It sounds like he's like bidu, bidu, and she's like scared and jumping back into his arms and shit. And he's like, "Oh, I'll kill him. Don't worry." But there's just so many of them, and they're just kind of swarming the kitchen. God. It's disgusting.
I imagine all of the men and women that are coming here are probably like all attractive.
So yes, a lot of times, yes, Muhammad looks good. As in, I believe, I'm not mistaken, he looked good. Fiona, she looked good. So yes, what you are saying is true. Most of the foreign people that are on the show actually are very attractive in some way.
They're just being paired up with the dregs.
And virtually every American is the voice.
Just fucking gross.
You know, you know what I love about you? I love that you knew. He was like, so I'm going to just take a shot in the dark here, but I'm going to assume that all of the foreigners are attracted. I'm going to assume that the Americans are the dregs. You're just spot on. You're just fucking. You are absolutely spot on. Like I'm in tears. I'm in fucking tears because you are 100%. You are 100% from the fucking line right now. You are shooting 100%. It is. I'm crying.
Oh shit!
I'm in tears. I'm in tears. I'm sorry. This is too much. This is way too much. But yeah, 90 Day Fiance. Please, I'll tell you what season to watch, but please, Kenny, I swear, please watch it.
I'll definitely watch.
Find some downtime. It is so entertaining. Like you will be so disturbed but entertained at the same time. It's gonna be so. I don't even know how we got here, but it's so disturbingly entertaining. It really is. Dog. Okay,
man. I'll definitely check it out. Check it out.
Real quick before we move on, I just want to take this time to give a shout out to our patrons over at Patreon. I will give we give a shout out every single episode.
Usually we're not crying when we do it.
Usually we're not in actual fucking tears when we do this. But holy shit, I just wanted to like segue out of that in some meaningful way. So to our patrons, we have Connie, Austin, Leon, Quest, Garen, Xavier, Hylian, TCG Automotive, which you can find on Hire Car, rent cars in Philadelphia if you need them, especially people who are coming in from fresh flights. We have Silver Chronic, Tyree Tinsley, Dimitri Barnes, Alexander Brissett, and Vinny Casello. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. As we always say, it goes a very long way. And we also release exclusive content on our Patreon for people who are not on it. So if you want to check that out, we also have a Discord server. We do at least one exclusive episode per month. This month, we're actually dropping 2 just to kind of catch up because October was such a wash.
Yeah, we missed October.
Yeah, October was a wash. So we're doing another exclusive episode for the Patreon only next week. And that'll be dropping, before Thanksgiving. So, yeah, I mean, check out the Patreon IMNerd podcast on Patreon if you want to find it. Also, we have our link tree that I always link on Facebook. And we have a Facebook page too, IMNerd podcast. So definitely like the Facebook page. That way you'll get notifications when we drop new stuff. And yeah, that whole thing.
All of that shit.
All right. So
yeah, go ahead.
Well, did you want to talk about something specific? Because I have something to throw out if you don't.
Yeah. I was just going to say, so I mentioned this briefly to you, but I want to talk about it on the podcast. On basically every Marvel episode, we talked about the snap, the Thanos snap, and you'd mentioned that show Manifest.
Yes.
And how that show Manifest has a similar thing where people get on a plane and then they disappear for 5 years and they come back, but for them, no time passed.
And like no time passed for them, but time passed for everybody who wasn't on the plane. Yep. Yeah.
So Fraser was, he kept mentioning that show, and then I happened to see it on Netflix. I was like, I'll throw it on. So I threw it on as like a show to have it on the background. And I just want to give my official stamp of approval that it's not good.
Kenny told me the other day, like 2 days ago, he just randomly was like, hey, by the way, Manifest is fucking awful. And I was like, I was a little taken aback by that. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit like, well, damn, like I didn't expect that because I heard good things about it, I guess. But honestly, it's not trending on any of my timeline. Like my Facebook typically tells me what to watch. Squid Game, Stranger Things, when it was, Game of Thrones. I typically know what's popping from my Facebook or my Instagram. And I have not really seen anybody popping off going crazy about Manifest. So when you told me that, I was a little taken aback, but it kind of makes sense now you're saying it's kind of bad because no one on my Facebook
it just seems like okay. before the age of the internet, right? Before the internet was what it was. It
Yeah.
just seems like a show that would just be on TV. Like it's just a show that's just on TV, and you watch it because your show comes on after. You know
Like
what I
All
mean?
My
Like,
Children or Seventh Heaven or just something like
yeah,
that.
it's
Like
just
we
like
don't
a
actually
show.
watch. No one watches those fucking shows, but they're kind of there right before
Yeah.
the show you really want to watch comes on, like Jeopardy.
Pretty much. So the show, it's got a cool premise and concept, and there's some stuff in there that's cool, but overall, like the writing and just the show overall is just not good.
I'm sorry,
And
I'm laughing because you spent that time on Manifest, and now I can't wait for you to spend that time on Fiance. I'm sorry.
it's got a few actors in it that I like. I don't remember the one guy's name, but he's in. Have you ever seen Power?
I have seen the first 2 seasons of Power.
Do you remember? I want to say his name was like Q or something. It was like, I don't know. It was their home. It was the main 2 characters, like Tommy and Ghost, and then like they had their third guy that was like their in between guy that kind of went to all of the people. I don't remember his name, but anyway, he's in that show Manifest. And I like that actor a lot.
Does he end up getting killed in Power?
Eventually, yeah. I don't remember what season.
Is he a friend of Ghost's son? Because doesn't 50 Cent have a son in the show?
Yeah, he's big as shit.
Yes, he's a bit big. He's dark skinned.
Yeah,
he gets
that's
killed
not what I'm talking about. But
okay, you're not talking. Okay, that's why
No.
I kind of thought it was him. I don't know who you're talking about then, but
yeah, he's. I want to say he's some kind of Latin American.
Okay, yeah, I don't know him, but yeah, you like the actor. He's in Manifest.
Yeah, he's a cool actor. And then there's this other actor. Have you ever seen the show Once Upon a Time? It's another.
No, but I heard about that. It's basically fairy tales.
Yeah, that's another show. I watched that show, I don't know, years ago now. That was another one of those put it on in the background shows. I like, there's some shows that I really like because they're not good shows, but they're interesting enough to me where it's like I can put that on the background while I do other shit.
I love that. Like Walking Dead. Walking Dead started off really good. It was a show that I wouldn't recommend putting on as background noise at first, and then it became terrible. And it was a great show to put on while you do something else.
Yeah. So Once Upon a Time was that for me for a while, and the guy that plays Prince Charming in there is one of the main characters in Manifest, and I just laughed because I've never seen this guy in a good role. Like every role this guy's in is just
so this
fucking,
role just bad too.
He's just always in bad shit.
He might be fucked after that. Then, from what you're like, if you're telling the truth about this Manifest show, then
I don't know. I could see it being popular with like I don't know some. I don't think it's good though. I could see some people saying it's like the nuts, but I don't know. Some people say weird things.
I'll once you said that, I'll just pass because honestly, I don't even have the time to be like spending my time watching shit like that. If you tell me it's bad,
it's not good.
We have virtually the same taste, so it's going to be really hard for me to find something that you find bad to be good. Speaking of which, speaking of something that people find bad and somebody else might find it good, I don't know if I mentioned it to you already, and I probably have. I saw the Eternals over the weekend, and
it's so funny. You did mention it to me. I remember you messaged me and you were like, "It's so fucking good." You put it really high on your list of Marvel movies, and I'll let you give your opinion on it.
Yeah, so the internet has been absolutely destroying this movie and attacking it and talking about how bad it is. And honestly, I was really confused because when I watched it, I thought it was one of the better Marvel movies. I think most Marvel movies I will never watch again. Like, if I'm being honest, more than 50% of the Marvel movies that have ever come out, I will never watch them again in my life. Not willingly. They are that fucking bad. So I was expecting this to be another one of those Marvel movies that I'll see one time just so that I'm like in the loop and for the next Avengers or whatever the hell is going to be, that I'm not missing anything. But when I watched this movie, I was genuinely sitting there like all the actors in it are great. First of all, half the cast is just straight up Game of Thrones characters. Jon Snow's in it. Fucking Robb Stark is in it. Like then one of the characters' names is Cersei. She's a main character. She's one of the Eternals. And her and Jon Snow are in love. His name's Kit Harington in real life, but I'm gonna call him Jon Snow.
Yeah.
It's really funny. They have a lot of scenes where he says like "I love you, Cersei" in a very sensual way.
So funny.
So they put that together on purpose, and I thought that was really funny because as I'm watching the movie, I was like, he would never say that, and people were like laughing. People in my theater were like laughing and shit. But the movie itself, like the writing, the CG, just the action, like all of that stuff, the pacing, I thought it was really well done. Really convincing, like everything about it, I thought was really well done. I only have a few nitpicks, but they're not enough to say that the movie was bad and should be the lowest rated Marvel movie of all time and all this other shit they put on this movie. Like, this movie is Thor Dark World. I'm just confused.
What I've heard, I haven't seen it yet. My viewpoint from what I've seen so far, before you messaged me, another friend of mine I was talking to about it, and he was saying how fucking good it was. He was saying the movie's really, really good.
It's just a good movie. It's just especially for a Marvel movie, it's just good, period.
He was saying great things about it. And then in between him telling me that, I just saw from a lot of random people, a lot of people trashing the movie, saying that it's bad and it's boring and just all these other things about it. And then you messaged me telling me it was really good. And then I have about 50 accounts of it being terrible and 2 accounts of it being great. And I'm going to go out on a limb and assume it's great. Because the 2 people that told me it was good, I value their opinion so much higher than whatever. Because everybody else was just talking, and I wanted to like start arguing with them, like, "Well, did you pay attention?"
Yeah.
But I know I can't because I didn't actually watch it.
Yeah.
But one of my friends legit was saying that the movie was so boring that at one point he like got up and went to the bathroom in the middle of the movie, and he said that like the movie didn't make any sense, and I was just like, well, if you missed 15 minutes of it, right, probably like.
Yeah, like it's not going to make sense. Also, so I did say this to you too, and I want to say this on the podcast. This movie is long. It is very long. It's over 2 hours and 30 minutes. So it's a pretty long movie. It's under 3 hours, but it's over 2 hours and 30 minutes. You need to pay attention from start to finish because you don't know these characters. This is not Iron Man or Spider-Man or Batman or Superman or any of these other characters who you've known and you've seen cartoons of, and you know them very well. Unless you're a comic, I'm not talking to the people who read comics and they actually do know who the Eternals are.
I'm talking
about the normal people, or not even normal, the casual Marvel fans who like like the casual fan who like me who doesn't read every single comic. And even if I did, I don't know if the Eternals would be one of the ones that I would read. Like I probably would be reading the mainstream ones. But these are characters that most people who go to the movies have no idea who they are. So this is also an origin story type of thing. You know, the first movie where they're setting up like Spider-Man before he becomes Spider-Man. Uncle Ben has to die and all that stuff. This is that. Now, granted, when you go to see a Spider-Man movie, you already know how he becomes Spider-Man. You know he's going to get bit at some point by a spider. You know that Uncle Ben is going to die. You know that, like, everyone who goes to see a Spider-Man movie knows that already.
Yep.
With the Eternals, you have no idea anything about these characters. So you need to be paying attention and not on your fucking phone for any of the movie. They explain.
You gotta watch the movie.
You have to watch the movie. And I think that a lot of people, one, they either have that groupthink or that mind, like where people just like the hive mind, where you just see what everyone is saying about something online and you agree with it without actually using your own fucking brain to decide if it's good or bad. And they just kind of jump on this bandwagon. And it's so toxic that people do that. The movie wasn't even out yet, and it had like less than a 50% review rating by the critics. But then it came out that a lot of critics were review bombing it because there was a gay scene in it. All right, so yeah, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. But as I was saying, like if you don't pay attention to the whole movie, you're going to be lost for one. You're not going to know what the fuck is going on because this is an origin story. So every little detail really matters. Like you said, you just have to watch the movie. And I think a lot of people tend to watch movies and they check their phone when it lights up. You know, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I go to the movies now. That's just a thing that I do.
A lot of people watch movies with their phone out and watch shows with their phone out now. Like they'll watch it and they'll have their phone on their lap. And if there's like a moment where they're not being entertained, they like look at Instagram real quick or whatever.
Yeah. And then they're just lost. And you could easily get lost in this movie because it's so long. And I do think that every scene matters. Like there's not really any wasted scenes. They're showing you a lot of content. There's also 10 Eternals. So they're literally showing you 10 different characters. And all of them are not developed equally, which is good because there's really then the movie will be 4 hours. But the main ones that they focus on, like you need to know what's going on with them because it all comes to a culmination and to a climax. And I don't know. I just feel bad that a lot of people I saw saying, oh, well, I'm not going to see it now because I heard it was awful. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, holy shit.
Shut up, cat. I'm sorry, everybody listening. This damn cat won't shut up.
It just kind of sucks that a lot of people are apparently not going to see it. And I can't save them all. Like, I'm not about to go around and be like, oh, you should still see it to every single person I see saying that. I don't care that much. Like, Marvel's not paying me at all. But for the purpose of, this
it is
podcast,
frustrating though. Like people,
yeah,
just the opinions people get, and yeah, no, it's annoying. I've seen a lot of people, like, I'll be really excited to watch an anime with somebody, and then there'll be just like a moment when something isn't happening, and I'll look over and they'll be on their phone.
Yep, that is frustrating to me. I don't like that.
And I know this person can't speak Japanese, so like they're not reading the subs when they're looking at their phone. Like it's really frustrating.
I really don't like that.
And
Whenever
then
I
they'll
try
say, then they'll have a critique about the show. It's like, well, you missed half the episodes.
Yeah, I have a really big issue with that. I remember inviting one of my good friends over to watch Game of Thrones on Sunday because I would have like little watch parties at my apartment, and he would like start going on this. I would see because I would turn on all the lights for Game of Thrones. Like every single light would go off. When it's dark outside, so it's dark in the apartment and everything. It's very like, I made a whole thing out of it. And I would look over because I keep seeing a fucking light, this bright ass light, and he's sitting on a beanbag chair, and I'm like, wait a second. Like you're fucking just on your phone, and we're in like the last couple seasons of this show, and this is one of the pivot. Like every episode is pivotal at this point. Like why are you texting? Who can't wait for this hour-long show to end? Like what notification is so important that you have to be like texting back? Or then God forbid they start like laughing or some shit. Then I'm like, okay, now you need to like. You need to decide.
Leave. You need to roll the fuck out.
Yeah, I was going to say, because now I'm pausing the episode and I'm like, and it's like 5 people in my apartment and shit, and we're all watching it. I'm like, yo, you're actually just drawing right now. Like, you're getting on everyone's fucking nerves, and no one else is going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Like, this is not okay. Like, get the fuck on.
Yeah, that shit's frustrating. I've definitely been in those situations. And
then to be like, oh, yeah, this is trash. Like, how you going to call it trash?
You didn't even watch it. You didn't even see what was happening. It frustrates me with any show, especially if you're trying to watch a show that's really good and you guys are into it, and then someone's just not paying attention. It's always, but for anime especially, because you don't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
So if I'm sitting here watching, whatever the anime is, and we're both watching it, and then you're looking at your phone half the times, and then you're like, yeah, I don't know, that arc wasn't that good, or that character wasn't all that developed. You missed the development. You missed it. You were looking at your phone. You were checking Facebook.
I made sure that when I watched Hunter x Hunter, for example, because Medina put me onto it, and I take it very seriously when somebody recommends me something and they're watching it with me, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. There's no notification I'm going to get. And if somebody really needs me that bad, Do Not Disturb, the way it works on an iPhone is if you call me twice back to back, it will let your call come through. So that's basically like an emergency. If somebody calls me and I don't answer and then they call me back immediately, it must be important.
If somebody back to back calls you and then they're just like, hey, what's up? We got a problem.
Well, I'll tell them straight up. Like that will only happen once in my life. Like for that person. Like that person will get a very like, please don't do that because I'm only answering it. I thought something was wrong. So do not double call me if my shit's on Do Not Disturb. Like do not do that. If you call me and my thing goes straight to voicemail, because I think that's what Do Not Disturb does to your phone too. I think it like routes everything straight to voicemail. It doesn't even ring and make the person believe that you just didn't respond. It blatantly just, they call you and it's like, you have reached whoever. Don't just call me right back if it's something that can just wait. Or you can text me. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people not texting?
Yo, I don't understand.
Don't call me.
Somebody I don't want to say recently, but within the last 2 years, somebody was like, yo, did you know your voicemail is not set up? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, if somebody calls you and you don't answer, like you can't leave a message. You don't have your voicemail set up. I was like, okay. He's like, you should set it up. I was like, you can just text me.
You and me are the same person because my voicemail's not set up either.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how to do it, and I do not give a fuck to learn.
It's 2021. You are not leaving me a voicemail. Fuck off.
And I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to waste time setting up something I'm not going to use.
I personally,
I'm not using that.
So when I had a voicemail, and this had to be over 10 years ago now, because I've had the same number since 2011. So I've had this number for 10 years, literally.
Yep.
And I have not had a voicemail set up in 10 years. But when I did before 2011, shit used to go to my voicemail inbox and then I would listen to it. It'd be just noise, like static noise, because the person just didn't hang up their phone fast enough. So it's just literally them fucking walking around with keys jingling in their pocket next to their phone. Or it'll be them saying something so low that I can't even hear it and me having to replay it over and over again to find out what the fuck they were trying to say.
Yep.
Or it's just like somebody playing on your phone and then you could just hear them breathing on your voicemail and they leave you a message and you get a notification for that. Fuck all that.
Yeah,
How about you just be a normal person and send me a text message like, hey, this happened, or hey, call me when you get a chance. Any of those things will suffice. But do not leave me a fucking voicemail. Voicemail is for boomers. You are an ancient
it's
human
not a
being. And
thing
you think that
anymore.
voicemail, my voicemail is not set up. And every time somebody tells me, and it's usually not many people who tell me that, but job recruiters are quick to tell me when they finally get in contact with me or when I respond back via email or something like, oh, hey, I noticed you didn't have your voicemail set up. And I just ignored them.
Yeah. Yep. So what do you? I just don't understand. That's the other thing that's kind of frustrating is that there's just outdated forms of communication that people act like are still relevant.
Yeah.
Voicemail is one of them, and I think it's weird that things are taboo. Real shit. Let's say if it's normal for a job recruiter to call you, and if for whatever reason don't answer, if it's normal and it's not considered bad form for them to leave a message, like if it doesn't look bad on you that you didn't answer because life happens,
Right.
and it's okay for them to leave a message, I think in 2021 it should be like you call, oh, that person didn't answer, okay, I'm gonna text them. Like,
Yes.
that should just be okay. That should not be bad form.
And the smart ones,
nobody checks their voice. Like, that's not real.
Yeah,
voicemail
just isn't real.
I also think that email is fine, but I also think email's kind of not real too. Just join a Discord or something. Like,
all right, email is different.
Message me.
Email is different, but I personally don't like email communication with people who can text me. I'll be specific on what I'm saying. If you can text me, why are you sending me an email?
Yeah.
The only things that I send emails for, no, I'm not even gonna go into that because that's a rant. That's a completely specific situation.
So very specific business, like that's what I'm saying. Email still makes sense for business and things like that.
For certain things, email is fine. Like, we have an email for IMNerd@gmail.com if you guys want us to read anything aloud on the show.
And that works. What's frustrating to me is, for example, my mom, right? My mom is in like a group and they'll communicate and stuff, and they communicate on a pretty daily basis.
Yes.
And it's not like a business. It's just like
they could just have a group chat set up on Facebook Messenger.
They email each other.
Like every other human being on the planet.
I'm like, Mom, why are you guys emailing? Like, what are
you guys doing? Could all just, I'm sure they're all friends on Facebook. They could just do a group chat. They can even do fun shit like nickname each other and call each other funny things or inappropriate things like we do in our group chat.
Yep. When I see stuff, that's what gets me. I'm like, why?
You can do, like you said, you could do Discord, even though that might be a little too much for people who are older, but still, Discord is out there as a communication method. But do not start emailing me back and forth and we're going to have a conversation through email. You must be out your fucking mind.
Yeah. It's so weird to me when like somebody recently had a family member that it was their birthday and somebody was like, hey, what's this person's phone number? To me, because they know I talk to them all the time. I was like, I don't know. They're like, what do you mean you don't know? You talk to them all the time. I was like, yeah, on Discord. Like, I haven't used my cell phone as a cell phone in fucking 5 years. Like, I don't make normal phone calls. Like, if I call somebody on my phone, I'm just calling them through Discord. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's true. Because like me and you, I haven't called your number in a very, very long time. And I also obviously don't know your number by heart. I don't know anyone's phone number except my own. I don't even know my mom's phone number, which is bad because if you ever get like in certain situations, you know, you probably do need to know at least one. I don't even know my mom's number. And I
only know my mom's number because she's had that number
since you were young.
Since I was a child.
Yeah. My mom unfortunately changes her number entirely too often, which is super fucking annoying. I actually find it super annoying because I don't answer numbers that are not in my phone. If you call me and it shows up at the top of my screen as a bunch of numbers, because that's how I look at it. It's just a bunch of numbers.
Yep.
You're getting declined. And if you call me again, I'm blocking you. What I tend to do, which is nice what the iPhone has, is you can do like these little message replies to phone calls. So I have one setup that says, I do not have your number saved. Who is calling? Mm-hmm. And if you don't respond to that, or if you respond to that in any fucking weird way, blocked immediately. Like we're not even, and I've been this way for several years, more than 5.
For me, my phone, I don't even have vibrate on. My phone, if you call me, I will not know you're calling me. And then at some point when I check my phone, I'll see I have a missed call. And if I don't recognize the number, I just like swipe it away. I'm just like, all right, cool.
You're a bit extreme. Everything that you're a bit extreme on everything. Like all of this shit is like, all right, peace. This man's like email should be done away with. And my phone doesn't vibrate. So God forbid my mom is calling me from the hospital somewhere and trying to get to me or something. He's like, nope. I don't want communication with pretty much anyone that doesn't have me on Discord. Kenny is like, you don't have my Discord, you can't fucking reach me. And even if you have me on Discord, I appear away literally for 20 hours of the day. So good luck reaching me on that shit too.
You can still message me. Here's my thing. because I'll check my phone, right? So I won't get the call, but at some point in the next 10 minutes, I might check my phone, and so whatever. But sometimes I don't remember if I told this story in the podcast, but I was like this before. But what really drove it home for me, just like being away on everything and tired of people like tracking me, was when I got into streaming. I'll never forget when I got really, really sick, and so I didn't stream. It was when I got COVID, I think, if I remember correctly. It was around when I got COVID. I got really sick, and I didn't stream for like 2 weeks. And basically, I'll never forget, I got a message from somebody, and they were like, hey, like, what's been going on? How come you haven't been streaming? I was like, oh, I'm really sick. I explained the situation to them. And they're like, oh, but I saw you were online playing your Switch. I was like, what? And basically they were saying like I was online playing like video games. So
therefore,
I
you should be streaming.
And I was like, you can go fuck yourself.
Yep, that would have been my exact
response. At that moment, I went into my Switch settings. I turned off any possible way of you seeing me online. I'm just offline on absolutely everything. At all times, I'm offline. And then I only put myself on online if I'm like recording the podcast or streaming or whatever. Otherwise, I'm just offline. Like, you can get off my dick. Like, I'm not having random ass people track me.
Yeah, they had you fucked up, and they would have had me fucked up too. I'll be damned if somebody tell me. If I tell you I'm sick or if I'm hospitalized or something, you say, "Oh, I just noticed that you were like, on your Switch." You motherfucker! How dare you?
So that shit's annoying.
Make a fuck right off. And I'm glad you nipped that in the butt real quick. But
I told him to go fuck himself real quick. Also, the thing with the phone too is I don't know who Ashley is, but whoever had this phone number before me, and it's been like 10 years now, but her name was Ashley. And I think I might have said this on the podcast already, but I hope she dies. I hope she burns in hell, because she gave her number out to all kinds of people, because I just get so many phone calls from just like, your car insurance is this and you could do this and blah, blah, blah. You get so many phone calls for that shit. I don't got time for that.
Yeah, that's annoying. I get random spam messages that are so funny to me. They're like talking about like car insurance or claiming a free iPad. Or they'll just start calling me a name that's just not me. Like, hey Sam, hope you've been doing well. Reach out to me at this number, and it's just like what the fuck?
I love when I get the phone calls of people telling me that like my car is expired or something. Like, don't have one, right?
Yeah, like your extended warranty is about to expire. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And they'll say your name and everything sometimes too. I'm like, I don't know what information you have, but it is not the correct one.
Yes. But as far as communication goes, there's Facebook Messenger, there's text message, there's Discord, there's also email for important things only, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that you should, like you said, you should not be having a conversation with me via email. I don't even like job recruiters doing that shit really, unless we're really moving the process along. Like, all right, we got you interview schedule. Boom. That's one email done. Then it's like, after that, how did the interview go? If you want to ask me that, even though that's just annoying to me, but sure, you want to know how the interview went. The interview went fucking fine, because if it didn't go fucking fine, guess what? I wouldn't even be responding to you, because why the fuck would I ever do that?
I just think email needs a bit of an upgrade. Email should be able to function similar to an instant message. I just don't like the process of it.
Me either. It's so formal.
You gotta like open it up and
you gotta click compose. Then you gotta choose the person.
Yeah.
It's very formal, and that's the thing. But that also does give it a niche use. Like, that is why it's used for business.
Hold on one sec. Let me get this damn cat.
That's fine. I'm over here. So I bought a 5-pound bag of M&Ms. Like, I think on Monday. Yeah, it was on Monday. And I have just been going in this fucking bag of M&Ms, and it's M&M peanut. M&M peanut, to be specific. And I love this candy. I forgot how much I love it. I haven't had it, honestly, because I was doing the keto diet this year, and I was just like, I don't know. I haven't really been eating candy lately, and like, I want to say it's been over a year since I feel like I had M&M peanut, but they fucking busting right now. And I'm so sorry for the people who are listening, because I've been trying to mute myself when I'm chewing them, but I've been eating them during this podcast, at least in the last 10 minutes, and it's really hard for me not to eat them right now. Like, they're so fucking good. And for whatever reason, I'm really hungry. I guess because also, like, I lost all that weight from the sickness. So, like, I've been eating a lot. And I think my appetite has really been kicked in overdrive, because the way I'm eating these M&Ms, it doesn't make sense. The M&Ms are fucking great. Let me know what candy you guys like. I'm just curious. What do you guys think the best candy? Like, I have Reese's up there as probably number one. And then Snickers and M&M peanut are like in the A tier. So S tier would be Reese's for me.
I love
Like,
Reese's.
I think Reese's and also so I like Reese's sticks a lot. It's actually my preferred method of eating a Reese's is the Reese's sticks. I like the wafer part of it. And then regular Reese's also is just S tier. So I have Reese's sticks and Reese's S tier. I have Snickers, M&M peanut, and I would probably say Kit Kat is also in that tier of A tier, like right below. And then when I was young, I used to eat gross shit like Three Musketeers, and that's probably like in D tier or something.
I like pretty much every version of Reese's. I remember at one point when I was working down in Center City, I used to buy like a Reese's Fast Break every single day. Like I don't even remember. I don't know why it was called a Fast Break, but I bought the Fast Break.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It came in a red wrapper, and
yeah, I bought that every day, and then I would obviously have like a Reese's cup every now and then. But for whatever reason, there was like a year where I got a Fast Break every single day.
Yeah,
another candy I like. Sour Patch Kids are good, but
they're so good.
I like the Sour Patch. I think they're called Sour Patch Kids Explode. They got like the juice in them, like Gushers. I love that little kid shit, man. I love it. It
sounds so to me right now in my head. It sounds like it's doing too much because I think Sour Patch Kids are already ridiculous. But I'm not going to shoot it down only because Sour Patch Kids is literally one of the best candies. Period.
I like them a lot. I fuck with them.
It's so good. And I just noticed when you said Sour Patch Kids, I was naming really chocolate. Like when I think of candy, I really just think of chocolate because I'm a big chocolate person. Like I love chocolate. When I think of candy, I don't really think of Starburst and Skittles and Sour Patches. Although
I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I think Starburst are so trash. Like, I just do not.
It really depends on the flavor for me personally. It depends on the flavor. Cherry, so red, as we just call it red, and pink lemonade or just pink. Those two flavors are really good to me out the original Starburst. And then orange and lemon are kind of like, orange is my least favorite. I don't really care for the flavor orange in the original Starburst pack, but I know that there are death threats that people will send about the Starburst in the original pack and what tier they all belong in and which one is king and which one is absolute garbage or which ones are garbage and which ones are king and all that. I've seen the discussions a lot. You guys can let us know as well on that. Like, what's your favorite Starburst? What do you think the best color is, hands down? You can even get into some of those freaky colors that came out way after. But yeah, send that shit to IMNerd if you want.
I was one thing, even though they suck, but one thing I'll always love are gummy bears. I do think gummy bears are pretty trash. But growing up, I remember every time, like my dad would take me to the movies, but it's not something like we wouldn't go to the movies all the time.
Yeah.
But there was always like for something, like some kind of event. But the point is, there are like good memories I have is like of going to the movies with my dad, and we would always, among other things, get like a pack of gummy bears, like Twizzlers and stuff like that. And so I remember those fondly, even though I would not say they're my favorite.
Yeah, I remember movie theater candy hits different. There's something like they put a little extra sugar in movie theater candy, I think, because so you just reminded me of some shit. First of all, movie theater hot dogs. I don't even like hot dogs in real life, but movie theater hot dogs are so fucking good.
You are fucking ranting. You're like, I don't fuck with hot dogs, but 7-Eleven hot dogs.
I don't fuck with hot dogs in real life, but specifically, movie theater hot dogs are wild. Like they're so good. I don't know what they do to make those hot dogs taste as good as they are, but they are really good. And I could down a couple Glizzys in no time. Movie theater candy, like I said, I do think they add a little bit more sugar into them because Crunch and Bunch does not deserve to taste as good as it does when you're in the movies. For some reason, Crunch and Bunch just, first of all, it also doesn't end. Like you can keep shaking the box and you will constantly get a stream of Crunch and Bunch somehow. I'll find that to be like a unique to the movie theater type of thing that like the box is infinite. It also just tastes better than every other candy. It tastes better than every other candy in the world. When you're at the movies, Crunch and Bunch is wild.
There is. It's interesting. There's things.
Snow caps.
It's psychological how the way certain things are. Like, okay, for example, I don't drink soda ever. I don't like soda. I am not a fan of soda
either.
But if I'm eating a pepperoni pizza and I happen to see a Coca-Cola, I'm kind of like, yo, I kind of want some Coke. Like
Pepsi for me, but yes.
I'll get like a craving, or Pepsi, but I'll get like a craving for Coke or Pepsi or whatever.
Yeah.
But specifically when I'm eating like a pepperoni pizza.
Listen, Pizza goes so well with a
Yeah.
nice with anything cooked like that whole thing. That it's very good. Even with Sprite. Like I fucking love pizza and Sprite because I just need something that burns really good. You need the
Yeah.
grease. I need a really greasy pizza that's just like disgusting melted cheese and fucking so much grease and so much oil coming off the pepperoni because I specifically love pepperoni pizza. I need it to be the sauciest. I need my crust to be pretty thin and crispy and firm and everything. And then I just need a nasty burning soda. Like I just need a nasty old Sprite, like McDonald's Sprite or a nice Pepsi that's just gonna burn my fucking esophagus as it goes down. I love it. That is I don't like I said, I don't drink soda. Even when I do eat pizza, like in the current me, like for the last 7 years or so, when I eat pizza, I do not drink soda. But like you said, I probably would indulge, especially now that I'm all underweight and shit. I probably would
Yeah.
indulge in a nice
If it happens to be there. Like if you're at a party, a family party or a get together or whatever, and they've got 2 liters.
yes. At
Let me get
events,
that
so
fucking
I
Coke.
do indulge in stuff like that at events. The thing is, I don't go to events often, but like social settings. So, like you said, like at a party, like I'm going to a Friendsgiving on, I think, November 20th. So, I'm going to a Friendsgiving, and that night I'm going to drink alcohol, and I'm also going to probably drink soda mixed with the alcohol because that's the only way I can drink alcohol in the first place. So, on that specific occasion, which is something that happens once a year, I'll definitely be drinking soda and like Red Bull and shit like that, stuff that I just don't normally drink at all. But because in the social setting, it's like way better. So yeah, I totally get that.
Yep. So
Man,
that is
but yeah,
weird.
movie theater food. Just I don't know, movie theater nachos. Like I always get nachos when I go to the movie theater, and
Yeah. Or
I
like the
don't get it.
pretzels. You ever get like the small, like the
Yes.
pretzel bites
Oh my god, pretzel bites in a movie are so
with the
good. It's like they don't
cheese?
taste like this outside.
They don't.
They don't taste like that in real life. And that's what I hate. I hate that the movies, I don't know what happens in a theater, but like all your taste buds are amplified. Like you get like a buff. Like all
Yeah, I
humans get
will
like a
say
buff.
for sure they're pop movie theater because I don't like popcorn at all, and I don't even eat popcorn really in movie theaters either. I don't. It gets stuck on my teeth.
Yeah.
That said,
But
movie
movie theater
theater
popcorn,
popcorn does just taste better. Like
it
it does
tastes
just taste better.
it tastes insane, actually. Like not even just it tastes insane. It's crazy. The buff we get to our like taste that is ridiculous when you walk into a theater. It doesn't make sense to me. And it's been like this since we were children. Everything okay. I like Snickers ice cream bars. And
Mhm.
in real life, they're pretty good. Like they're fucking delicious to me. Snickers ice cream bar is pretty good. When you go to the theater though, for $6.50, you can get the best fucking ice cream you will
Oh,
ever have. Like it is literally the best thing I'll ever eat for $6.50. It is insane.
that's fucking crazy. Yeah, when we went the last time I was in a theater was when I went to go see the Demon Slayer movie. And I don't know. I think the last time I was in a theater before the Demon Slayer movie
I
was
know what you're
when
about to say.
no, I don't think you do.
Okay, all
Uh
right, never mind. I was
Yeah,
about
the
to say.
last movie I saw before Demon Slayer was The Hateful Eight, the Quentin Tarantino
Okay,
movie.
okay.
And I don't know, the last movie before that I couldn't tell you. But anyway, when we were there, like I had popcorn and shit, and like whatever other random candies were in there, and they were just so much fucking better.
Yeah.
And even though I hate eating popcorn because it gets stuck in my fucking teeth, I'm still still just eating it.
I don't like popcorn getting stuck in my teeth either. I actually carry dental floss everywhere I go now, though, because that's how bad I don't like shit being stuck in my teeth now, especially with Invisalign. My teeth are so close together at this point. So for something to actually get stuck in my teeth, it takes a lot of work, but it also means that it's really lodged in there because there's not much space between my teeth anymore with the Invisalign.
Yeah.
After it's like my teeth are very, very tight. I noticed that when I floss now, I have to work a bit to get the fucking floss down between each teeth. Like it's actually kind of crazy how much it changed. Just everything about the way I eat and like me, like I said, I carry dental floss now, and just because I don't like shit getting stuck in my teeth, it feels so annoying, and I'm one of those people I can't stop playing with it. Like I'll keep poking at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll
So
just
popcorn,
constantly like try to play with it with my tongue and try to because you just got to get it out, dude. I had fucking okay. We're talking about food. Rice Krispie treats are one of not treats. Rice Krispie cereal is one of the worst fucking cereals of all time. It is absolute
without a ton of
garbage.
sugar. Yeah,
Dude.
If you
I don't
drown it in sugar, that's the only. If you drown it in sugar, I promise it's edible. But if you
okay,
don't,
but I mean, if I fucking drown penis in sugar, it's edible. Like Rice Krispie cereal
yeah,
is so fucking. I had the epiphany. So first of all, I don't know if I've ever even had the cereal when I was younger. I've had Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
But I think my first time ever having the cereal was like 2 nights ago, okay? It was just randomly in my
God.
basement. So I was like, whatever. I ran out of Cocoa Pebbles. I poured some Rice Krispie cereal, right? And I was eating it, and it's terrible. And it goes soggy in an fucking instant. It gets soggy really quick, and it just doesn't taste
It's kind of flavorless. It's not the flavor of Rice Krispie treats. It's so bland. It's that's why I say you got to drown it in sugar. I haven't had Rice Krispie treats in years.
The reason why I brought this up, there was like a Rice Krispie that got stuck to my tonsil. It was like stuck on my tonsil, and I couldn't get it off. And I was like it's like something being stuck in your teeth. I was like playing with it with my tongue I was looking in the mirror, looking with the flashlight on my phone. I could not do this fucking thing. It was like randomly suctioned to my tonsil. And that was annoying, but the cereal's terrible. And then this is when I had the epiphany. You know Rice Krispie cereal is fucking bad when they don't on the marketing, they don't tell you how good the flavor is. They say this cereal makes noise. Like that's how they market Rice Krispie cereal.
Is that the snap, crackle, and pop nonsense?
Snap, crackle, pop. Like, isn't the cereal cool? It makes noise.
Like who the fuck cares?
Like nobody has ever marketed Rice Krispies because they said it was good. They're just like, hey, you put milk in this cereal and it sounds like firecrackers. Isn't that cool, kids?
No, fuck off. Give me some fucking Crunch Berries any day of the week, and I'll show you what I can do to a box of cereal. So, what I will say, since you brought up cereal, that's another thing. I don't really eat cereal anymore, but you were eating dry cereal the other day, and I commented on how I really like dry cereal, and I was talking to Gus yesterday. Gus actually came over yesterday, and we randomly got on the topic of cereal. We started bringing up Fruity Pebbles and all this other stuff. So for me, when it comes to cereal, Fruity Pebbles is fucking S tier, at least when I was a kid. I don't know what it tastes like now because I really don't eat cereal anymore, like I said, but Fruity Pebbles was my shit as a kid. And then we started going through all of the cereals. And so when you brought up Rice Krispies, that was not one of the ones we brought up yesterday. We brought up all the
damn right it wasn't.
We brought up Fruit Loops. We brought up Apple Jacks. We brought up Frosted Flakes, of course. We brought up Honeycomb. We brought up fucking even Smacks. Got brought up at one point. He brought up, what's the one with the little magic? Is that the Magically Delicious?
Lucky Charms.
He brought up Lucky Charms. I don't really care for that one as much because I used to just go for the marshmallows. But he brought up Lucky Charms. Obviously, Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles, really insane. And there's a couple others that are like really, really good. Like Trix. I like Trix because I like sweet shit a lot, and that's just like a very sweet cereal.
Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Clearly, if Fruity Pebbles is my favorite cereal, I like really sweet shit. Like I like really sweet things, and also like things that don't last long. Apparently, which probably is some childhood trauma leading into why my relationships don't last and stuff like that too. Because Fruity Pebbles, they become fucking soggy in no, like you literally have.
They become soggy quick, but not as fast as fucking Rice Krispies. Not Rice Krispie. I'm telling you right now, it was so. Because you're right. They don't really have a flavor, but they become really bad and really soggy. Like I'm really stubborn.
Rice. That sounds nasty.
Yeah, I'm really stubborn, and I don't like throwing away food. Like, and so by the end of the bowl, I was gagging. But I forced myself.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It was so because you don't throw away food. Like I'm very like I do not like wasting food.
I know you are that way, and that's great and everything. But if I'm gagging,
I was gagging, dog. It was so bad.
If I'm gagging, then I'm throwing it away. Like I'm not because like someone gave me an oyster a couple months ago, and I just fucking I couldn't. Like you gave me an oyster, and I was like, oh, I'll try it. Like, and they kept telling me, oh, it's so good, it's so
if
good.
It's something like that, I'm not gonna finish
just suck it back, and I'm like I'm just like why the fuck did you give me a fucking like get the fuck out of here with your goddamn oysters and all that stuff. I don't know,
stuff like that where it's like I'm just trying it. I'm not gonna force myself to finish it if I really don't like it.
You were just trying Rice Krispies. You never had them before.
Yeah, but I was also hungry. Like I was eating, I was hungry, and like I just didn't want to waste food. Like Rice Krispies, it's not the same as like fucking slurping oysters. I don't know. That's
how is it not that? Okay, all right. I'll let you have that. I'll just let you have it because I don't care. I don't care. But my whole point is, I'm like if somebody ordered me oysters, let's say they order me 8 oysters, and if I told them straight up, I'm not eating another one of those things because that's
Yeah, yeah.
kind of like that was a one and done for me. I'm
That's what I'm
never.
saying. Like if I was out, I'd be like, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Make sure you're gonna eat them, and then I'll
Yeah,
have
like
one.
you need to eat the rest of this because I for sure if I don't like it and I'm a very stern person and I don't like to waste food either. I usually every time I go out, all those pictures people see when I go out, I typically don't finish my food, but I always take it home if I don't.
Yeah.
Unless it's like the small like I'm not one of the people who bags up a fucking bite of macaroni and cheese and a
Nah,
little
nah,
piece of
nah.
steak. That's ridiculous. But sometimes, for example, I went to Roof Chris Saturday after the movies. I went to go see Eternals and I went to Roof Chris. And I got a nice ass steak. I got macaroni, lobster mac, and I got the sweet potato casserole. And because we waited so long for our real food to come out, we had gotten appetizers and we had gotten bread and stuff like that for the
Yep,
table.
yep.
I had crab cakes for appetizers. So I ate a couple things. And also my stomach had shrank a lot. So when my real food came out, the steak, the macaroni and cheese, and the casserole, the sweet potato casserole, I wasn't able to eat all of it. I wasn't even able to eat half of it.
Mm.
So my steak was huge. The macaroni and cheese silver thing that they brought it out in literally looked like if you just mixed it a little, like if you just moved the spoon around, you could make it look completely full again because I just like kind of worked on one corner of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But basically it was full. And the sweet potato casserole, I ate a good amount of that only because again I love sweet shit. I just can't help it. But that was still even that was at like 60%. So when it was time to box up everything, obviously I took it all home and I over the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, I actually ate those leftovers and they were busting. Like I put them in a toaster. I don't
Yeah.
microwave food anymore, but I put it in a toaster oven.
Yo, me neither. The toaster oven / air fryer is
Yep.
holy crap.
Yeah,
It's
no
so
more. Like I don't microwave. If I have to microwave it, something's wrong. I can't really think of like a food that I eat that needs to be microwave. I'm trying to think.
no
Like
way.
I really don't
Dude,
microwave things anymore. I can wait.
same.
Like I'm an adult. I can wait 10 minutes for my food to come out the toaster oven. I can
Same.
wait.
Yo, pizza is so fucking good after coming out the toaster oven.
Oh.
When you microwave pizza, it's so sad.
It's funny you mention that because after this fucking call, I have some frozen pizza that so I bought. What I do is there's this really good place next to my apartment, and they make really good pizzas. Considered one of the best pizza spots in Philly, like one of the best. So what I do, and it's square pizza. I get pepperoni every time, and I put a lot of the crushed red peppers all over because I like it to be spicy. So I order that pizza, and it's huge, and I can never finish it in one sitting because I'm just not that savage. But I can eat 1 or 2 slices, and what I do is I freeze the rest of it, and I'll put it in a toaster oven. Like one day it's like I'll eat it whenever I feel like it over the course of the next like 2 weeks. And it tastes, like you said, out of the toaster oven, it tastes so good because it's crispy again. It's like it never even it's like it was fresh. It's fresh.
It's fucking crazy. And on the note of pizza and wasting food, there is like a visceral reaction I get when somebody doesn't eat their crust.
Yeah.
When somebody like eats a slice of pizza and doesn't eat the crust, and then they'll eat like I get so angry. I'm like, eat the fucking crust, you child.
I'm weird because I start eating the crust first.
Well, good.
Like I do some kind of weird combination. If you watch me eat pizza, it's kind of disturbing, I think. Like for regular people, like they probably just eat it from, the triangle, the bottom of the triangle at the, the point of it, right? The point of the pizza. Yeah. They probably start from there. That's what I think most people do. And some people fold it and they do their whole thing like that. Whatever you do, but normally
I fold it just because I eat it with one hand. So
yeah.
I just fold it. It makes it easier to hold. And
yeah. That's great. I have I think if I ever saw myself eating pizza, I would be worried that I might be a serial killer. Because what I do is I take a bite from the point, like the bottom of it, and then I take a bite of the crust.
You're tripping.
And then I keep doing that until there's nothing left. And I didn't realize how absurd it looked until one of my exes pointed out, like, yo, what are you doing? Like what is going on?
The hell is wrong with you?
Like I've been not eating my pizza because of the way you're eating yours. I've been watching you and you haven't even noticed. I was like, well, this is how I eat. This is how I eat pizza. I don't.
Oh,
but that's why it's a little bit better that I get the square pizza now because it doesn't look as absurd when I'm doing it. I still do the same thing. I still bite the front, then I bite the back, then I bite the front, then I bite the back.
It's a little different.
I keep doing that, but when I have triangle pizza, it looks crazy.
When I see if I'm over like a family member's house and like they make a sandwich for their kid, like there's things that throw me off the deep end. Like when kids, like if you make I made a sandwich for one of my cousins one time, right? I was over their house. Their dad wasn't there at the moment. And they're like, hey, I'm hungry, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, whatever. What do you want? I made them a sandwich. So I make them a sandwich, hand them a sandwich. It's like a ham and cheese sandwich. And then the kid looks at me and he goes, can you cut the crust off? And I looked at him and I said, eat that fucking sandwich.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not cutting the crust off, you're not a...
Yeah.
I hate... Because nobody actually dislikes the crust. Here's what happens. Your pansy-ass mom or dad, when you were a baby, cut the crust off, I don't know, for some dumb reason, because you saw it on PBS.
That's some terroristic shit, too.
This idea that you don't like crust. And it's not... It doesn't even have a taste. Like, it's not even there. I
think people who do shit like that, I think that's like the start of terrorism, because I don't understand what would make you pull out your sharpest knife to cut the crust off of a couple slices of bread. Like, I find it to be disturbing, actually. I've never had the crust cut off of my sandwich, not once. And, I do partake in the Smucker's Uncrustables or whatever, but honestly, them saying that they don't have crust is actually a lie, because the fucking circle that like is kind of binding it together, right?
Yeah.
When you toast it, that part becomes the crust. Like, that is the outside, that thing, that crimping, that is the crust. So like that whole Uncrustable thing is a lie. But people who actually make a sandwich and then find the literal Michael Myers knife in their drawer and start cutting it, you need therapy. Like, that is fucking strange behavior. Stop doing that for your kids. So you're creating a fucking whole generation of pansies. Like, stop doing that shit.
And it all, dude, that's where it all starts. It all starts from getting your fucking crust cut off your sandwich.
I really do. I think if you look at like Jeffrey Dahmer and like some of those people, like, where this start is like when their moms start cutting the fucking crust off their sandwiches. Like, that is where it began. Like, that is like when he starts his memoirs off and shit like that. Like, I bet that the opening of his memoir is like, oh, like, I remember being really young and hating my fucking mother, and like the way she would cut the crust off of my sandwich. Like, I believe that is the beginning of his memoir. Like, I'm not even joking. I think that's actually how it starts.
That's how it is. That shit frustrates me so much.
Not a fan at all. Like, that is, I think it's just really strange behavior to do stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just like, it's just completely unnecessary. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that really grinds my gears.
I think it's weird. Like, I'll see people, like, they'll eat a Pop-Tart and they'll break the crust, like the end part of the Pop-Tart off. And I'm like,
little psychos.
Dog. I remember I have a lot of brothers. One of my brothers does that, right? So he's breaking the ends off of the Pop-Tart. And first of all, in literally one bite, like, you're past the end. You know? Like, it's not like a hoagie or a stromboli where you have to get past a really doughy part first.
Yeah.
Like, a Pop-Tart's small. Like, you're in the middle in a bite.
Yeah.
But that aside, I remember I took the Pop-Tart and I flipped it over. And I was like, the part that you're breaking off is the entire back of the Pop-Tart. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's ludicrous to me.
Yeah, I've seen that before though. I've seen people break off the four corners of a Pop-Tart. Like, they like just chip it off. Like, they just break them off because they don't want to bite into that part. And it's just kind of like, what the fuck is that? Like, I look at again, I start getting scared because I'll start checking to see if that person might have a weapon. And like, it's just that kind of behavior to me is conducive of someone who is going to commit an act of violence soon. I just think that like there is something wrong if you do shit like that. I don't know what to tell you. I just find it to be disturbing behavior, and I think you should seek help. Like, actually seek real help. If you're one of the people who cuts the crust off of sandwiches, or like starts to fucking, I guess, quote unquote, get rid of the crust on your Pop-Tart, you need therapy, and there's some childhood trauma that you need to face, and talk to your therapist about it. Like, let us go to Talkspace and maybe let your therapist know.
Talkspace? What is that? I don't even know what Talkspace is.
It's therapy, but like, you call into a licensed therapist.
Okay.
So you don't have to actually go anywhere physically. You kind of just, but yeah, like, sign up for Talkspace, talk to a therapist, and face your trauma. Like, face your childhood traumas. See what your therapist recommends for you. But I do think that there's something deep seated about people who do shit like that.
That's amazing.
Like, I faced my pizza thing. Like, I
you had a that's wild. That's
my pizza thing is, I know it's strange. Like, I've been told like that is fucking scary. Like, I'm scared.
It's so
now.
funny. So, it's crazy. I've eaten. I guess I'm just not looking at you well, because I've had pizza in the room with you before.
Yeah, several times. Like,
I just
not
don't
even
look at
just
you while I'm eating.
More than 5 times.
Because I'm eating. I remember there was a point in time when we didn't live together, but we basically lived together.
Yes.
And I swear we got Domino's like
Oh,
40 days in a row.
God. So
I
we actually have had
swear.
pizza. I said more than 5 times, but now that you brought up Domino's, we've actually had pizza together more than 50 times.
Yeah, easy.
Like,
I promise you. Easy.
Because we got Domino's, like you said, every other day for months. This
Yeah.
just went on like the whole summer. I remember there were summers where like me and Medina would just be like Domino's, and then we all be kind of like, fuck it. Like we
they
all
had
do
that deal. They
5
had that
5
deal.
deal.
Yeah. And there was 3 of us.
Yes,
so.
it was perfect. The 5 deal. And then me and Medina would be like, you want to go in on those little fudge hockey puck looking things that they're just chocolate. I forget what they're called, but
I think
kickers.
they're lava cake or
Lava,
kicker.
yeah. Oh yeah,
like
lava crunch cake or something like that. But yeah, I used to call them like lava kickers or something. I don't know what the fuck they were called, but we used to get the lava crunch cakes, whatever pizza we want, which was usually pepperoni and bacon. I know I got pepperoni and bacon. You probably got pepperoni and bacon.
Yep. I think Medina got sausage and bacon.
Okay, I know we all did some form of like something in bacon, and you were like the toppings were free, and then sometimes I would get a little spicy because I'm a little extra, so I would get the buffalo chicken kickers. That's what had kickers in its name. I would get like a little order of buffalo chicken kickers, which I would never finish, and they don't taste really good when you reheat them. So I don't know why I ever fucking got them, but I always got a little side of buffalo chicken kickers because I was weird, and again, just like exuding very strange behavior, but. The 5 deal definitely saved our lives for several summers, and I'm glad that you brought that shit up because it just brought up so many good memories.
Yeah, it did, yo. I'm telling you, because when you said we've had pizza in the same room more than 5 times, I was like, dog.
Yeah.
I swear we ordered Domino's 40 days in a row.
I locked away Domino's in the recesses of my mind. There is a door like in my head. You ever see in Yu-Gi-Oh! How Yami when he goes inside the Millennium Puzzle? Yeah. And it's just doors and stairs. So inside, but in the far back, like you have to really work to get to it. In the far back, there's a room, and it just has like a lot of shit that I locked away in. And one of those things is the fact that I used to eat Domino's pizza every single week, especially at Yu-Gi-Oh events. Like I used to eat Domino's pizza man. I would call downstairs and be like, "Hey, excuse me, do you have menus?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, which ones do you want?" I was like, "You know what? Let's not even play. Can you just give me the number of Domino's?"
Let's not even play.
Yeah, can you give me the number? Like this is obviously this is way before we had like, all of the apps that we have now. This is like 2010 shit like that. But yeah, I would call and get the closest Domino's, and so
a lot. Good. We did that a lot.
Yeah, we did. We definitely. Oh man, now that you say that, we really went in Domino's and Wawa every day.
It was bad.
It's a miracle we're not huge too. Like I don't know how that's
Yo, for real. It's because I'm not gonna say it's because I'm not gonna fucking sit here and pretend I really know anything about health.
No, we're not scientists.
But we walked around a lot.
We did walk around a lot. I think it's probably more of our metabolism if we're being real, but yeah, we did actually walk a bit. But we also sat on our asses and played a lot of video games.
Yeah.
So at the same time, like I won't sit here and cap like we were the most active, but Anyway, let's wrap this episode up. So this is episode 31 of the IMNerd podcast.
Damn, and real quick, as you're wrapping it up, let me just say, we'll have another episode like this because there's a couple topics we didn't get to.
I didn't talk about a single thing on my list. I didn't talk about a single thing on my list.
No, we were just ranting.
I got Squid Game second season, live action One Piece, Stranger Things new season, Bleach, like just excited about Bleach coming back and all that. And I got Demon Slayer. My gripes with Demon Slayer airing the Mugen Train. Like the whole season so far is Mugen Train. Like literally. So
the next episode of the podcast might already be decided, folks.
Yes.
We got a couple topics that we didn't get to today.
Yeah, we didn't talk about I didn't talk about a single thing on my list. Not one.
I didn't have a list. I just had Naruto and Fortnite, and then we went from there.
We literally went from there. And that's the great thing about Kenny and I. You guys, I feel like this is probably one of our most real episodes because when we are just talking to each other, this is how random the conversations go. Like I'm not even kidding. This is basically a look at us talking to each other on the regular, but just being recorded now. And the only thing that we really have to do is like, you have to put your cat out. Like if it was just me and you talking, the cat could just chill there and just keep making noise, and I wouldn't really give a fuck. But like for the purpose of us trying to be professional and shit for you guys, we got all that going on. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode because I actually enjoyed this conversation. This was one of the easiest to record just because it's a conversation between two friends and we're just ranting. Like we literally just ranted for an hour and a half easily. So we'll be back. As I always say, do the things that make you happy. I gave a shout out to the patrons already. Shout out to you guys again. You guys fucking rock. And yeah, I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything else I gotta say.
I think that's it.
All right. Well,
you guys are great. Good night, good day, good morning,
yes,
good time of the day.
All right. Well, until next time. Peace.
See you.